These are my 3 favourite property purchases of 2023. I think one of my USPs on the YouTube is the fact that I actively buy properties every single month. To give you an idea, we end up purchasing between 3 and 5 properties every single month. Almost all of them are boring, vanilla buy-to-let properties, but every now and then we get a crazy deal. And what I want to share with you is my 3 favourites. Now, caveat to this, these are not deals that you're getting every single day. If you're a mortgage purchaser, it's not going to be for you. This is about taking fast action. You need to have the right education, the capital there ready to deploy, and really ready to execute on the deal when it comes up. So the first one is this property here, number 8 Park Road in Doncaster over in Yorkshire. If you don't know it, let's talk through the numbers. So this was an online purchase. It was through an auction house. We had to be able to move quickly, and we knew the link in there was to move quickly in order for them to exit the property due to personal situations. We purchased property for £82,000, but we had a buyer's premium on this of £6,300 and spent just shy of £12,000 on it, around £11,800 to be precise. Now, this is a very good area. We've actually bought multiple properties over here. The first one being in 2017. We've probably bought another 15 to 20 in that area over the last couple of years. The reason I really like this particular area is it's actually not an amazing area in general, but this is where your analysis on the area really comes into play. So we know there's a big development going on in the area that's going to create thousands of new jobs. And once this development's finished, all of these jobs are created, everyone earns more money in the area, it drives more logistics in, which means only one thing for property prices, and that is going up. All in on this property, we were just over 103,000, and then we refinanced at 115,000. Now you might be thinking, well, that's not the deal of a century. Well, it is pretty good, actually. We end up buying it cash. As I said, like all of these deals, we buy them cash. Go, 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 go. Because in order to get deals like this, you have to be quick, especially getting them at that price, because I can complete in a week or 2 rather than 12 weeks on a mortgage. So as I said, we refinanced at 115,000. And once we got the refinance through, which is recently, we end up leaving in £16,684 with almost £30,000 of equity. So we had a huge £11,885 in added equity in this property. So after all of the costs, are we making a killing on this property? No, that's not really the point of boring vanilla buy-to-let properties. We end up cash flowing after management, maintenance and everything like that, paying the interest rates, which is quite higher now on mortgages, £175 a month. So is that a crazy deal? No, but I'd say it's a very good cash on cash return. It works out as about 12.37% return on capital employed, plus we've got over £10,000 in added equity, and it's in an area we know over the long term is going to achieve 7% plus on capital growth. So you let me know in the comments, do you think that is a good deal? I'd say it's a really good one. Anything where I'm leaving in around £15,000 in my area, I am over the moon with. But again, the caveat on this is you need to be quick. This next one is another one in Doncaster, number 34 Pipering Lane. We're just finishing off the refurb. So this one's really interesting. I actually run an education company, if you don't know this already. And what's interesting about this is the person that found the property for us is a delegate of ours. She's on my academy, and we paid a sourcing fee for that. And then we're getting it refurbished by somebody else that runs a refurbishment company in Doncaster, who is also one of our academy members. So it's really nice, actually, where we've educated them to do a lot of this stuff, found a deal, we've paid them money, which is usually the other way around for education, right? And then paying them more to get the refurbishment done. So let's talk through the figures. So we purchased this property for $98,000. Again, we purchased this one cash. We had to purchase due to speed on that purchase. We also had a buying cost of around £3,000. So these were our solicitor fees. We had a bit of an additional fee in the solicitor process, plus our broker. We had our stamp duty on this just shy of £3,000. Due to it being an investment purchase, we have to pay 3% of the $98,000. And then we had a refurbishment on this property of £28,420. So all in on this property, we were just shy of 131k. So it was 130,881. the correct number will be here, right? So give or take, it was there, and we're looking to refinance this at 145,000. We're in the process of doing that. We've got the value, but the money's not in yet, being open with you at the time of filming this property. So our money left in on this deal is actually 22,133, which is a little bit more than I really like to be doing. Honestly, normally 10 to 15% I'm happy to leave in, and this is at that 15% of the total value of the 145k. So bit annoying, but also we've increased the value of that property by 15,000 through our refurbishment. So I'm okay with that. We're renting this property out at about 795 a month, which is a really solid income. After all of the management, the maintenance, the mortgage payments, etc., we're at just over £150 a month, or about 1,800 a year. So the cash on cash return is 8.53%, which again, I'm absolutely fine with. For myself, as I said, a boring vanilla buy-to-let is meant to be truly passive income. I'm not looking to get rich from the cash flow of a buy-to-let property. It's not really how it works. When the interest rates come down again, yes, I'll make more cash flow. But honestly, for me, and I've said this before on here, you'll find me buying buy-to-let properties that are cash flow neutral as well. So it's really about getting them in the best place. I've already described how good Doncaster is. It's more about the capital growth, but this is a property I'm really happy with, a solid tenant, and ultimately this is going to be a long-term investment that's going to give me a combined return of over 15% a year. One interesting thing about this property, it's got solar panels. Now you might initially think this is a really positive thing because solar panels, it drives down the utilities, right? Yes, it can be if they're purchased in cash. However, a lot of the time, these solar companies, when the grants were there, it weren't really like, oh yeah, you can just have it. They were payment plans on, and it's linked to the property rather than the individual. So if there are, in this case, we end up looking into it and we factored that into the purchase. So actually it is a net benefit. But if you ever got a property with solar panels on, don't just take that as a given. What you want to do is find out what the contract is, because it could be costing £100 a month for the next 5 years, and they don't tell you about that, but it's your legal obligation when you buy the property. I'm just going to pause right now, by the way. If you're watching this and you're thinking, damn, I want to actually learn how to do deals like this, how I can build these without any of my own money and build this portfolio for your long-term generational wealth, then just put education in the comments. As I said, I run an education company where I can show you how to raise the money for these deals, how to find them, fund them, get them refurbed and exit on your timelines, and of course what you're looking to achieve. So if you're thinking this has been valuable, I like the channel, and I want to find out more, put education in the comments. If not, I'll put a link in and I'll put it to the top in the comments. So I'll pin it to the top. Click on there, leave your details, and you can have a free one-to-one strategy session where we work out where you're at, where you want to get to, and if we can even help you along your property investment journey. So if you're ready to back yourself and invest in yourself, click education. Third property. This is a pretty cool one, bit of a different one. Number 6, Saltway Court in Whitstable, in a very, very, very different area, and it's actually a flat. Now, the reason that might be surprising for you is I do not like leasehold properties. I never buy leasehold properties if I'm holding in the long term. The reason I hate leaseholds, by the way, is you don't own the ground that's underneath it. And if you're looking for a long-term investment, I would only ever invest in freehold property personally, and what I always give that guidance to our property investors. So why did I buy this? Well, this is what is known as a trade in the industry. So a trade is when you purchase a property and then you put it on the market and sell it straight away. All right, so it's that sort of speed trade, and it's all in the discount of the property, which is always down to the person's personal situation. So this vendor purchased a property in 2020 for £445,000. Now that was overpriced in the beginning, and this by the way, when people purchase things that are off plan, almost always they are buying above the market value. So if you've ever purchased something that's off plan, almost guaranteed you overpaid for it. Sorry if that's you. So actually today's value is not at that. It's more about 375,000 give or take, and that's at a risk. So I actually think it could achieve 400,000, but in general 375,000. I've got it agreed at 300,000. So as I said, a trade is when I'm going to buy that, which I have done, 300,000, put it on the market, you sell it at 375 plus, and you make the money in the middle. So on this property, as I said, 300,000 purchase price, you've got the legals on this of 1,500, and there's no stamp duty to pay. And the reason for that is there's a property trading exemption with stamp duty, which means that I don't need to pay any stamp duty on it as long as I'm spending less than £10,000 on it, which I will be because it barely needs anything doing on it. On a property trade, being open with you, normally I will pay for a deep clean of the property, and that is it. You do not need to spend a load of money on this. And by the way, yes, there are several ways of not paying stamp duty completely legally, and as I said, if you want to get educated on that and find out the niche criteria of all of that, then put education in the comments or click the link, fill in your details. We can have a chat to help you. So as you can tell, there's big money to make in this. The other thing is, with trading, you can get 100% finance. So finance costs on this were about £18,000, but we didn't need to put in a penny of our own money. The only things that we paid for is a RICS survey at the beginning. RICS is a valuer goes out to value the property, a Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, and we paid £250 for that. Everything else is somebody else's money. So all in on this property, we were about 336,000, the exit of 375,000, and after all costs, we're making about £38,000, which again, considering it's none of our own money, we're not doing a refurbishment, we're just trading it on, I'd say that's a pretty good investment. You know, our costs, direct costs, will be about £250. Let's call it £1,000, which is not, but just to be over the top with it. And even if it were £1,000 and I'm getting out back 38,000, that's a 3,800% return in the matter of about 6 months' time, which is pretty good. Now, in general, I only purchase property in West and South Yorkshire. The only other time that I buy outside of West and South Yorkshire is number one, if it's with a joint venture. So, for example, I've got a development going on right now in Swindon. I've got a commercial conversion going on in that way. That's really bad, isn't it? In Lancashire somewhere. Holy shit, that is really bad. I am so sorry. Anyway, I've got like a £3 million development going. That's so bad. I know. I'm sorry, guys. And I've got a service accommodation going on in Thanet in Kent as well, which I'll do some videos on that for you, especially the commercial conversion. That's really bad. But they're all joint ventures or loans that I'm doing. The only other time is if they are trades. And the reason for that is they're very easy to manage. So I don't need to do a refurbishment. I've got stamp duty exemptions on them and I can just get in and out and make a decent amount of money. So those 5 properties end up putting about £500,000 in total. I end up refinancing at the end of the 2, leaving in about 40k. So I own those 2 properties with added equity and making sure I've got long-term combined returns of double-digit returns every single year. And this short-term trade is just a quick flip around where I'll make about 38 grand. So again, the cool thing about this third property that I really love is this person that also brought us this is also an Academy member. And this is the thing that makes us a bit unique from an education point of view is when people join the Academy, we like doing deals together. And I think we're one of the only educators that actually do that proactively. So we've probably got about just shy of £5 million out to our students right now, where we put the money in, they bring the deals and we build it all together. So this is a bit of a unique video. I don't really do loads of these, but as I said, I think a USP of ours is the fact that we're buying properties all the time, and I like to show evidence of that. So put property in the comments if you genuinely like these sort of videos. You want me to do more videos like this where I'm showing you real deals. Maybe I could show you around some of them, and if not, that's cool as well. Obviously this channel, whilst I enjoy doing it, ultimately I'm creating the content for you. So if you like more, put property. If you're ready to invest in yourself and get educated, put education or click the link in there, fill in your details. We'll have a one-to-one strategy session completely free. There's no catch to it. And if at the end of that phone call we feel like it's a really good match and we want to work with each other, great, we could talk about what that looks like. If you're new to the channel, by the way, and you want to learn more about property investment, completely free. I've got hundreds of videos and bringing out multiple new videos every single week around personal finance, mindset, and property investment. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you did get value, it helps me out a huge amount if you just tap that like button and then watch the next video.